Hey, we're back at the top again today with a very off-kilter video. Now, don't worry, nothing is wrong with you. You heard those words exactly how I pronounced them. Again, video. There is a reason for it. It was all a setup since pronouncing Pokemon names are very hard. Well, apparently. Don't worry though, I struggle with it too. There are names which I just don't know the official pronunciation, and there are names which I outright refuse to use the correct pronunciation. So, today, I will be going over most of the pronunciations that get botched, that I see at least, and that I've said over the years. But with that, let's dive into the ways to pronounce your Pokemon. Well, correctly, incorrectly, however you prefer, you know? Now, I prefer to do things in chronological order here, so this is why we will be starting off with Generation 1. But with how controversial this topic can be sure to look at this video with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to step on any toes here. What I am trying to step over is this intro part, because it's taking too long.
Dude, shut up! You're breaking the fourth wall here!
Either way, since the Pokedex 3D Pro confirms the correct pronunciations, we'll be using this as a reference. Now then, we can finally jump into this list. Look at this guy. See, I pronounce this Pokemon Nidoking. However, some people I hear call it Nidoking, and the other Nidos follow suit. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Nidos.
Nidoking!
Regardless, I say nay to your nigh. Now, Execute and Executor are these Pokemon's names. However, I still hear Execute and Executor from time to time.
Execute! Executor!
These Pokemon don't murder things. They don't execute things. It's Executor and Execute for a reason. Which, by the way, those aren't even eggs. They are seeds, but that's a story for another day. Here's a Pokemon I apparently mispronounced. I didn't even realize it until I looked at the Pokedex 3D Pro app. Now, come on. Kabuto is pronounced Kabuto. However, because of this, I call Kabutops the same. However...
Kabutops!
Kabutops, not Kabutops. It's a very slight mispronunciation, but it's not something I can stop doing. You know how much I like Generation 2. However, their pronunciations do not really like me. Such as Ledian here. I have always pronounced it Ledian.
Ledion!
Apparently, I need to hit the light switch in my head from Ledi off to Ledi on, because that's how you say it. I need to adjust to this quickly. Ah, the many X names, some of which I pronounce correctly, but if you've been playing as long as I have, you'll run into the early days of calling Pokemon your own way. Take Exatu here. As you just heard, I don't call it with a Z or a Z sound.
Xatu!
I thought if they wanted it to sound like a Z or Z sound, they would have put the letter Z there. Ampharos. Nope.
Ampharos!
Ampharos. It even goes against the sound of the name Pharos in his name. This makes no sense. I apologize, but I'm one of the many people who put the extra I in Misdreavus.
Misdreavus!
I can't stop calling it Misdreavus. Apparently, I need to unown unown.
Unown A!
I've been calling it unknown for so long. I know it's pronounced Gligar,
Gligar!
since Gliscor has the I sound as well, but Gligar sounds a lot smoother to me. This is foreshadowing, by the way. I, for one, correctly pronounce Scizor correctly. However, I keep hearing things such as Skizor or Scissor. One of them is in an arts and crafts room for an elementary school student, and the other makes graphics for people. Learn these differences. I like to rest my head against a pillow. However, apparently that's not how you pronounce Piloswine.
Piloswine!
You don't want to rest your head against that. Here's one that I can't stray away from. It just doesn't feel right. At all. Mantine.
Mantine!
It's called Mantine. Now I feel like I need to wash my mouth out with soap. It's the Hour of Hounds.
Houndour!
Not Houndour. Ah, what do I do? What have I been saying all my life? I used to call Phanpy, Fanfy. I worked that one out of my system, though. Smeargle is Smear and Beagle. To the people who call it Smeargle, well, you're wrong, like I once was. I cannot call it Raikou. It's not in my muscle memory to do so, hence why you still hear me saying Raikou the entire time on this channel. It's Ho-Oh, not Ho-Ho. This is a legendary bird, not a delicious snack. You know, Generation 3 had some interesting Pokemon. And of course, with more interesting Pokemon, we have more interesting mispronunciations. With how strong Slacking is, there's no surprise I was calling it Slaking. Exploud, not Exploud. Just another stress error. Now Larion is another situation where I add a random I.
Laron.
I don't know why I do that. There's no I in team. Or Laron for that matter. I just got stuck calling it like that. Nummel. It just doesn't fit. It's a fire type. Why is Numel numb?
Nummel.
I know it's the correct pronunciation, but you're making the name not correlate very well, hence why I keep calling it Numel. Here's two Pokemon with small errors I keep hearing. Wishcash, not Wishcash. It's not a genie. Same goes for Corphish. Where does this F come from when you say Corpfish? There's no F. Ask Ryan, he says his name in every video. Baynet.
Baynet.
Say it with me now. Baynet. I gotta get this into habit. It's not Banette. So, Snorunt is an Ice-type Pokemon, commonly seen in snowy areas. What it does not do very often is snore. It is not Snorunt. Actually, they could very well snore, but we don't actually know this. I get why some people call it Regice. It's to match the other two Regis. Even in the anime, they originally called it that. But the old producers weren't very smart. There's no second I. I can't go further into it because I keep adding I's to names as well, so... Unfortunately, this topic will be needing a second part. There's just too many Pokemon to cover. So before we get into the final generation of this video, I want to shout out a few Pokemon that I used to horribly mispronounce. Don't worry, I say them correctly now. Skeptile. Yes, I used to call Sceptile this. Pelipepper. Quickly, someone pass a Pelisalt! Mosquarion. Another random I keep adding into names. Will it ever end? Spinda. Apparently, I'm not very good with the letter I, am I? Chemico. What in the f***? Rayquaza. I've learned. It's Rayquaza, like a quasar. But anywho, we got one more generation to get to, and there's a very special name in here to end this video. The day Generation 4 gets remade, that will be the day I will feel old. That was the very first Pokemon game that I got on the release day. That wasn't my first Pokemon game, but there you go. I bet you that I mispronounced many names back then. I know my friend also jokingly botched one of Barry's preset names, but I'll tell that story later. But for now, we have Roserade. Or...
Roserade.
Roserade. So there's no extra R now? How? Everyone says Roserade. Mismagius. A combination of mischief and magic.
Mismagius.
So where in the flippin' hell does the hard G sound come from?
Smoke weed every day.
Oh. I should have known. It's the short A sound.
Drapion.
Drapion, not Drapion. Curse my feeble 13-year-old mind back then. Ah, Uxie. I love this Pokemon. It's very underrated and... Oh, wait. Hold on. Hello? It's Uxie, you f***ing mook.
Uxie.
Apparently, this rubs people the wrong way. So, this is how you can tell if they're mispronouncing Azelf. If you're trying to take a Zelfie, then you're saying it wrong. Let me introduce you to a pronunciation that you probably have never heard of. Giratina. That's what I called this Pokemon because it sounded so cool. Then I watched Giratina and the Sky Warrior. I hated the correct pronunciation because having to say the name Tina doesn't make this Pokemon intimidating. Then I built up the habit, so this one I have actually fixed. Surprisingly. Phione. Phione. Both are wrong. Hang up the Phione and say Fione. This is the special one I was referring to. The correct pronunciation is Arceus. So out of all of the pronunciations you've ever heard, how do you think I pronounced it originally? I won't say it in this video because then I will give it away. It's wild though. Let me know how you think I pronounced Arceus in the comments section below. I'll be sure to shout out the first person who gets it correct in this second part of this video. Wow, this pronunciation was so terrible. With that, that's the first half of the Pokemon I hear gets mispronounced by myself and other people. Don't blame me, my younger mind couldn't comprehend the pronunciations. But I do want to hear how you mispronounced Pokemon in the past. Leave your wildest mispronunciations in the comment section below. We'll get to the second part of this video pretty soon, but until then, we have a very special series to start. Our 1000th video is a brand new way to tell a story of an LP. It should be fun. But if you did enjoy this video and want to climb to the top, go ahead and smack the like button as high as it can go and subscribe to start the climb today. With that, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you back at the top later on because that's how we do life.